This time on that 90s Spider-Man show, Mysterio is a bitch. We're doing episode 9 of season 4 entitled Partners in Danger, part 9.
He calls himself Mysterio.
Hello everyone, I'm taking over. Henry did his cold open, so now I'm the person starting the podcast.
I'm not going to speak anymore, it's just going to be Jack talking.
I'm the captain now.
Look at me. Oh, listen to me. I'm the captain now.
Yeah, it's not a video podcast yet. Do you think that guy got a video podcast?
What, Captain Phillips?
I've forgotten the name of the character, the one who wasn't Captain Phillips but became the captain now.
Captain Captain, yeah. Who requires
the real guy, not not the act, the real pirate.
Oh right, no, I imagine everyone got into podcasting around like 2020, and I imagine he tried, but I feel like, yeah, probably like what I don't know if we have a pirate podcast, like if that's going to be amazing or if it's going to be like terrible.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what this is, right? If we're to glaze ourselves a little, if we're to be a glazed donut, then
Don't know where this is going at all.
I was just thinking of those, when you get those bot Instagram comments that's just like glaze on a donut,
Yeah.
As a gift. I was just thinking if we were to make podcasting sound cool, we'd be like it's like a pirate radio thing, because you are just kind of broadcasting and you can kind of do anything as long as you're within some certain rules.
Yeah.
Although I guess with the pirate radio stations, it wasn't like Apple could say no, if they had a curse word in it. Anyway, this is the 50th episode of a Spider-Man the Animated Series we're talking about today.
Hey, Jack.
What?
How do pirates upload podcasts to the internet?
I don't know, Henry. How do pirates upload podcasts to the internet?
With an RSS feed.
Oh, wow. You know what? Like, that was bad, but it was so much more of a real joke than I was expecting.
Thank you.
I mean, you're saying thank you, but I was just thinking as I said that sounded so insulting.
Usually when you interrupt me for bullshit, it's like not really worth it at all.
Normally when you speak, it's just empty, just air. But no,
that is definitely like make a podcast, because that sounds like a natural podcast and act. Yeah, whenever he speaks, it's just a load of hot air. And speaking of hot air, we've been putting hot air out of our mouths for 50 episodes, as for some reason I derailed.
Yeah, and we've done more than 50 episodes because we've got all the side stuff. But yeah, 50 episodes of saying this stuff happened on this show once.
So it's a 50th episode of Spider-Man the Animated Series.
Yeah, and
out of 65.
Yeah, which is weird. That makes it feel like there's not much left, but I guess like that for us, what's that, like 12 years of of releases?
Yeah, that series finale in like 2062 is gonna hit real good.
Honestly, we're like for this like simple premise, we're tracking such weird moments in human history.
Yeah.
Like I had this thought last night where, by the way, this is maybe one of the least prepared I've been for a podcast we've done together. Just to celebrate number 50, I've come in very unprofessionally.
Oh, cool.
Like I made notes, but I didn't organize them at all, so they're a complete mess. But then I thought that maybe that suits this episode. But then also I kind of had this thing yesterday where I was gathering my notes and I was watching everything, and I had to go watch the episode, right? I left the room in which my wife was watching all these videos about, well, okay, I'm not going to get into details because it's just like, this is not what people on the podcast for. So very dramatic events with global consequences started happening. And then I was like, I'm going to leave this room where I'm getting this information and go to a room to watch an episode of Spider-Man. And then the next morning, the first conversation I'm going to have is like, I need to broadcast my voice talking about this issue. Yeah, let's talk about this one episode of this cartoon. It just feels so extra ridiculous today because, I don't know, I'm not going to talk about it, but I keep dropping in all these topical references that date the episode and make people realize how long it takes me to edit. And if I end up doing that this episode, people will trace it back and be like, oh, that's the thing he was finding insane. And they might be like, oh, it didn't matter. Or they might be like, oh, yeah, that was the beginning of the end. Or that was the first horseman of the apocalypse or something.
Is it weird that I have no idea what we're talking about?
Okay, I'll edit myself back in. We're back to the real
Something
shit.
got cut. Anyway, what were we talking?
So what happened last episode? How did we get where we are now?
Previously, that 90s Spider-Man show, Harry followed a goblin into a factory, as you do. Had some no-no juice.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He got swole.
Yep. An old lady tried to assassinate Peter Parker. His girlfriend's up.
Yeah.
Punisher hangs out in graveyards and does tasks for old ladies, like he's a video game doing a side quest.
Yeah, or like a task rabbit, like a violent task rabbit.
Yeah. Taking people to task rabbit. Mary Jane is back. She's just back, no explanation.
She appears T-posing.
Yeah.
Asset dropped.
Yeah. Speaking of back, Harry Osborn is not back. He's very much the opposite of back. He's front. He's in an insane asylum somewhere. He's in a straitjacket right now.
Which spoilers not addressed at all this episode.
That's just what's going on. He's just in a straitjacket.
Yeah, because they were swinging. They swang off into the They swung off into the sunset and he's holding on to Harry, and Harry's saying, "I am the walrus," and
virtually drooling. Yeah, the bathtubs have kicked in, and he just goes, "Yeah, I'll just carry you on my back, old friend of mine. Please stop biting me." And that's kind of how we left off last episode. And this episode, as we know, is Partners in Danger. As Chapter 9 of Partners in Danger. This is an actual partner in danger. I'm accepting this as part of the central premise. And Mary Jane is back, and she's being haunted.
First thing I have to say about this episode, right, is that when it started, going from my vague memories of the show, right?
Did you have the same false memory that I did?
Yes, I think I did, because there's a point in this where, obviously it's called The Haunting of Mary Jane. There's a scene early on when she's in her dressing room, and you hear a voice going, "Mary Jane," and then it's this orange sort of thing starts forming, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of a smart idea. Hydro Man was obsessed with Mary Jane in that season 2, I believe, episode.
Way back.
Yeah, and then he, at the end of that episode, he kind of evaporated. And then I was like, oh, maybe he could reform, but as he's reforming, he's kind of mist. So it's it appears like she's being haunted by someone, and then because he's Hydro Man, he can be creepy and taps and stuff, and then it'll be at a certain point it'll be a reveal. Oh, Hydro Man's back, and I really thought that's where it was going, and then it hard turned into something way crazier than
way crazier. Yeah,
the false memory you had?
Yeah, I totally Mandela affected that Hydro Man was in this episode. I was when as a part we'll get to later on where oh, she's being thrown into a whole big pool of water that's washing her away. Who could do that, I wonder?
Yeah. It's almost like they were baiting us with Hydro Man.
Or maybe it was Hydro Man initially, and this is an edited version because they were Hydro Man is too creepy. And also off topic, the funniest death in this show is Hydro Man's the way he dies, basically.
Oh yeah, he just splooshes on the floor.
Because they show you the clip of it in the opening credits of him trying to belly flop Spider-Man and splashing everywhere. But that's not they don't tell you that's how he just dies. He does that and he fails, and that's the end of Hydro Man. And I just find that very funny. But yeah, we will get there. But first, speaking of pirates, we start with the pirate masquerade. Because of course.
Do you think it's interesting how much this show, and this happens a lot in this episode, right? There's a lot of reuse of animation. We've spoken about it before, of taking the same thing. There's certain parts of this episode where they've changed the background I recognize that sequence because this is in the intro
Yeah.
or this was in episode 1 of the show or something.
There's like that background where like Peter's like carrying Harry away from like an explosion, and like, I've seen that background like 20 minutes ago. I know that background.
There's a lot of that kind of stuff, but then at the same time, like they're doing all this stuff, which is presumably like a budgetary thing. At the same time, they're like, nah, but we need new designs for every character that is only going to be used in this one episode. We need Pirate Jonah. We need Pirate Robbie. We need Secret Agent Mary Jane. This seems like actually kind of like a bad idea if you're trying to balance a budget.
Yeah. It's probably when this show is like on the verge of being cancelled. It's like, oh yeah. The pirate people will definitely come back. We'll have like JJ in a pirate costume every episode from now on, and like out the phone they're going like, no, don't do that.
By the way, just as a side note, like I will get to it, but like I ended up going down a rabbit hole of reading of the stuff that was planned for season 6 of this show before it got cancelled, and goddamn, there was some silly stuff happening. It sounds really fun.
That will be a discussion to have. Yeah.
We'll have that. By the time we discuss this, the revival show would have come and had a couple of seasons and gone.
The most annoying thing about this is that like we both know that revival show is coming now because of X-Men 97, and
I mean,
I just know that we're gonna. It's 100% coming.
I mean, it wouldn't make sense not to, you know, but
like I don't trust Disney to have restraint in this situation.
Well, it's not about restraint, but I'm just like wondering about brand management, whether they're like, no, but we've got our Spider-Man cartoon we're putting out, you know, is the friendly neighborhood one, so we're not going to interfere with that. Whereas X-Men, it was like there was no X-Men things around at that point.
This is true. What you're also forgetting is that like somewhere deep in a basement somewhere, Avi Arad is saying, did someone say interfere? And then he will like kill people to make that happen. Like especially now, like the Spider-Man multiverse, whatever is done. Like Avi Arad is looking for fresh Spider-Man content to like goon to whatever. Like just.
I actually read. I don't know if you knew about this, but there was a Spider-Man 94 comic that came out recently.
I've heard of this, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember if I brought up on the podcast or not, but it was kind of interesting because it's written by J.M. DeMatteis, who's a great writer, and he's written some great. We spoke about him last time actually because he wrote this seminal Harry Osborn story. He wrote this, but it was like a weird thing because it was like a continuation of Spider-Man the animated series, but then it doesn't address the ending of Spider-Man the animated series. It kind of goes, yeah, some stuff happened. We'll deal with that later. Anyway, here's the story. So it's kind of like, presumably, if they did a show, they could just, you know, ignore this comic, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was weird because it had Morlun in it, who I don't know if you'd know anything about Morlun, but he's like a kind of a newer, well, not new. I mean, he's from like 2003.
Okay.
That's new for Spider-Man comics, I guess.
Yeah.
And then, and also Kane, like a new version of Kane, and Kane is a Spider-Man clone from the 90s.
Jesus Christ.
And he's in it, but he's not a Spider-Man clone. He's a different kind of character. And it was like a weird comic to read. But the reason I bring it up is that it came out, and then John Semper Jr. like posted like, yeah, no one even told me that this was being made. Like he found out about it when everyone else found out about it, which I thought was kind of weird, you know?
Yeah.
But that's also the relationship, which made me think, I don't know, like, would they just sidestep and ignore John Semper Jr., you know?
Oh, 100%. Like, I'm assuming, like, they're ignoring his calls down to the Disney offices.
Well, but X-Men 97, I feel like all the showrunners and stuff, that was all new people. But I don't know if the original showrunner for X-Men, the animated series, was like posting about it on Facebook, you know?
For OnlyFans. Yeah.
They were, you know, they probably heard about it and they're like, oh, that show I worked on. Whereas like John Semper Jr. is like, hey, I'm the guy who did this, you know, like he's telling people.
Let me have this.
Yeah, so it's like maybe there would be more pressure. and maybe more people know John Semper Jr. than they know the X-Men showrunner, so I don't know if there would be enough of a support for people to get like mad about it online and make them involve him.
This is true.
Like, I think he should be. I don't know. It's hard because it's like X-Men 97 was such a perfect little thing that kind of captured the original show, but also like did a new thing with it. And this show has such a particular tone. I mean, there's a version of it that could be good, but not like this show. And I kind of want what an actual continuation of the show would look like. And I know that's impossible because you can't go back in time and be in 1998 and make it happen.
Oh, I wish I could. I'd be there right now if I could.
Yeah, well, that's what we're doing. We're retreating to our childhood, away from these dark times we live in. But then
redacted.
yeah, and we're escaping our current landscape to talk about some AI characters.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, it's just weird to think about. Like, I don't even know what it would be like, because how do you replicate this? Because the big thing with this episode is that as I was watching it, I was like, this in a way is kind of like a definitive episode in that, like, you could be a kid and I could imagine just turning on the TV and seeing this episode out of context. You know, that's how it used to be.
Yeah.
And there's so much in this episode to like cater to that. There's like it's flashback city, really. Like
oh my god, there's like a massive scene of exposition. I know what you're doing, but even this is egregious.
I actually did the math. Sorry, I moved to North America, so I say math now.
I'm in for it.
I did the maths. We got 3 minutes of flashbacks in this episode, which was less than I thought than it felt like there was. But that's still 15% of the episode, yeah. Which is a lot.
That is, yeah. Considering what, like, the opening credits is like maybe 10%.
But all that to get back to this actual recap, how does this episode start?
With a fucking pirate masquerade, whatever the fuck that is.
Yes, that's where we were, pirate masquerade.
The scene to set the scene here is, for some reason, they've decided to have this like big pirate-themed party down at the Bugle. Peter's like in a fucking weird Aladdin costume, like taking photos of JJ and Robbie. Robbie says something to him that made me think like, are you hitting on JJ here? And it's kind of just like skirted over.
I look ridiculous.
I don't know, Jonah. I think you make quite a dashing rogue.
Parker, take one more picture of me in this getup and you're fired.
Aye, aye, sir.
They go to the front, there's like a speaker at the podium being like, I'm the pirate expert, and here is a ton of gold. Why? Why do you need all this legitimate pirate gold?
Yeah, you should not be showing off treasure in a city swarming with magical supervillains.
Yeah. Do you want to get robbed? Because that's how you get robbed. Someone's going to crash this party, so it proves. I was pleasantly surprised by the pirate robots. I was like, oh, this is new. I was expecting just like, I don't know, the Rhino, but as soon as you see the pirate robots, you know, okay, you're kind of down to the seconds, like, where the fuck is Mysterio? Come on.
Oh, he's a tricky one. He calls himself Mysterio.
It was a relief, you know? Like, we have these long gaps between recording these, right? And we're watching the episode fresh, like, shortly before we record. And coming in being like, there's this sense of like, oh, I get to watch an episode of this again, you know? I'm not watching them in between. Turning it on and then it's just like pure Saturday morning cartoon, like robot pirates.
Yeah.
That was refreshing. Also that this show has a lot of like fighting just, you know, goons. So it was kind of fun to have a different enemy. But then, yeah, having that and then, you know, Mysterio turning up, it was like a sigh of relief because I mean, we've
had a lot, I think, of like, I guess we'll come to this at another point later on in the episode, but it feels like a lot of time with the Black Cat recently, and a lot of time before that with Morbius. And it's been a while since like Spider-Man was just like free to just do some shit, you know?
Yeah, do some Spider-Man stuff, do some supervillain stuff.
Plots.
Right, and also this is one of my favorite things that I always think they should do more in the movies, which is, you know, that's the other thing, because I thought it was a Hydro Man episode. I thought that this Mysterio stuff would be just the intro, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that would have also been okay, because I like that kind of thing of like, okay, so here's this villain, but he's not like got some grand plan. It's just like, this is the situation and this is how we're introducing the characters. And if you're a new viewer, you're kind of getting the idea.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, Mysterio is just so fucking good, man. I love Mysterio so much. I don't.
Such a bitch, man.
I like Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio, but like going back to like a classic kind of goofy Mysterio is just he's so much fun on screen.
Yeah.
You know.
This is the problem I think with having like every Spider-Man villain be like an Oscar-nominated actor, is that like you can't just like throw them in.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, they have to be a big fanfare, like this, like fucking the kangaroo is back, guys. He's played by fucking like Jared Leto or whoever, or like fucking Bryan Cranston is the kangaroo.
You know, I was funny. I was re-listening to an episode. I was re-listening to the part of the when I was editing our Kraven the Hunter review episode, the movie. I went back to our original Kraven episode from season 1. Oh, who, by the way, I don't know if you realize this, but Greg Berger, or Berger, I don't know how to say his name.
I'm gonna say Berger.
voices Mysterio. He also voices Kraven. So and I think he's great in both. He's very fun in the show. But anyway, listen to that Kraven episode because I wanted to hear the bit where we're talking about the movie, and because I think I break the news to you that they're making a Kraven movie, and you were really upset.
Yeah, I think for good reason.
Yeah, you were vindicated for sure.
I was very much vindicated.
But during that, we just started talking about other stuff, and we ended up dropping in Daniel Day-Lewis as Scorpion.
I was gonna say that Daniel Day-Lewis should be at some point in the Marvel universe. You know, fucking. Yeah, I don't know.
But it was just it was funny to think of that because this is exactly what you're saying. You know, this like you gotta have this like holy shit, that guy is in this. You know, like that's a guy I know.
Yeah,
that guy can like be a lead. It doesn't always need to be that, but also especially when they're like masked or in this case fishbowled.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of want Mysterio to have the fishbowl on, like, for a large portion.
You give me some random voice actor who was in the back of Euphoria. I don't give a shit. I don't need fucking Matthew McConaughey to be fucking Big Wheel or whatever. I mean, that would be amazing. But like,
yeah, I mean, you're talking yourself into it,
yeah. I don't have a Matthew McConaughey impression on me, but like, I was.
So if he's Big Wheel, then who's Rocket Racer?
It's going to be Mahershala Ali, like he's not doing Blade.
Oh, what a downgrade. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's actually, I think that's a nightmare that Mahershala Ali has. It's like a recurring one.
It's like his wife wakes up to him and is like, is it the whole like Rocket Racer gym again? Yeah, baby. I'm sorry.
I was dreaming it was the 90s and people thought that the only way black people got around was on skateboards.
Rocket-powered skateboards and motorcycles. So this pirate party, right? So there's all these ribbon pirates coming out. They think it's part of the show, and these motherfuckers start coming out for blood, which is great. Mysterio comes in and is like, that's my gold, bitch. And obviously Spider-Man is all over it. But everyone gets away apart from J. Jonah Jameson, who is about to be murdered. And I'm kind of half like Spider-Man, like, just let him die. Honestly. Just let him die. Like, I know you're a hero, but like, I don't know. If I was a superhero and I have a chance to save Piers Morgan and I didn't take it, I feel like that would make me more of a hero, not less of a hero.
He does get called him fish lips, though.
Calls him squid lips, which is
lips,
kind of like weirdly sexual as like an insult. Yeah, squid ass lips. Like you shouldn't be talking about like another person's lips. You're trying to insult them. It's just like, yeah, what's going on, elk tongue? And it's like, why are you talking about my lips in this context? Anyway, and there's a wonderful visual gag at some point of like J. Jonah Jameson taking off his fake mustache to reveal his actual mustache, which was excellent. I enjoyed that very much.
I guess the same genius behind the pirate team came up with this brilliant stunt.
Jonah, this isn't a stunt. It's for real.
What?
Spider-Man throws him off of like a side of a building. The ghost pirates, or the robot parts, rather, they fall apart. They fucking explode. Whatever. J.J. Jameson is talking shit throughout the whole way through.
I'd love to listen to you rant, Squid Lips, but I've got another fish to catch, and he comes with his own fishbowl.
He comes back and he's like, okay, where's Mysterio? There's a whole like illusion thing. He fixed the illusion, and Mysterio doesn't take his eventual arrest very well. I think he behaves like a bitch the whole way through this episode. He's like, no, I've been fooled again.
Well, here's the thing, right? I was just thinking about this because I forgot how little Mysterio there is in this show, really.
Yeah.
Like, we've missed him dearly.
He's gone for a while.
So he's in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Then he gets arrested at the end of that. Then, well, actually, he gets arrested in the flashback as Quentin Beck.
Mm-hmm.
Then he gets out, he becomes Mysterio, he gets arrested. He is broken out by Kingpin and becomes part of the Insidious 6.
Yeah.
At the end of that 2-parter, they don't get arrested. They all just fuck off. All right, see you later. This was a bad idea. And then they leave. Then he's been away for 2 seasons, just a free man. And then there's an element of like, when he gets caught, it's like, oh, I tasted freedom, you know? Like he was eating cereal in his pants, like watching cartoons.
Eating cereal out of the fishbowl.
He just fills the fish bowl while he's wearing it and just like inhales it.
Just like with like milk.
Honestly, if we're being honest, Ray, he's probably hotboxing.
Oh yeah, he's like smoking like the dankest shit in that fishbowl.
Yeah.
That's why he gets like caught all the time. That's why he comes up with those ideas, because he's like high. Like if I was a stoner supervillain, this is the kind of shit I'd be pulling all the time. I know there's a pirate exhibition coming on, so I'm gonna build robots pirate robots so I can run this like exhibition or whatever. Spider-Man, why would Spider-Man be there? He's been there every time. This is all a sidebar to say that like we know what he's been getting up to as we'll get to it. He's been getting up to quite a lot.
Okay, Spidey, you're a native New Yorker. What's wrong with this picture? An exclusive club, an overpriced hair salon, a trendy restaurant, and a neighborhood deli? Give me a break, Beck. You've got to go another 30 blocks to find a good deli above 66th Street.
You mustn't do this. I can't go to prison. Not now. No, let me go. No.
Cut to Mysterio in jail, and this is where the prison's guards, like one of them was like, hey, I know the whole story of how Mysterio became to be Mysterio, guys. Let's all listen. And there goes 15% of the episode. And there's like a really bizarre transition from like this prison guard talking about like this whole thing and to Mary Jane. And to be honest with you, like I forgot she was in the show. I was like, why is Mary Jane talking about this?
Well, I actually thought this was quite smart how they did this. This episode in general is a very weird mix of times when you can see, oh, they're reusing this animation thing, they're using these flashbacks, they're like padding things to be cheaper. But then at the same time, there's this kind of thing where I'm like, that's actually, you're being cheaper, but like it's smart. You have this initial flashback, which they used before. When Mary Jane's voice kind of fades in, you start hearing her narrator. I found it funny at first because I was like, oh, they kept in Mary Jane narrating this flashback from a previous time they flash back to this. Then it fades into, oh no, it's actually like Peter and Mary Jane talking in a diner. And that's actually part of this episode, but also the ending of the flashback where they add that after this whole movie set accident that was Mysterio's origin story, the lead actress, what's her name, Miranda something?
Miranda Joan Hart, let's say. I don't know what that means. Miranda Cosgrove, I don't know.
But Beck got sloppy with the explosives, and a camera copter crashed.
It's a good thing Spider-Man showed up. He saved the pilot.
Spider-Man gets to the car and she's gone. She's not there. You know, and she was filming the scene, like driving down this bridge, and she's now missing. And then that's why we go into this plot of they're now finishing this movie. Mary Jane is the Christopher Plummer to Miranda's Kevin Spacey, and
that's why you're looking at Christopher Plummer earlier.
Yeah.
She basically Aunt Vivian's this movie. Yeah.
It's a good transition, right? And it's a good, you might not realize that half that flashback footage is actually, you know, from, yeah.
it was so masterful that I was sitting there with eyes aware as what was going on. I was like, what? And I think also the part of that is that like Mary Jane is just like going back to work.
Yeah.
If you disappear for like a couple of years and you don't remember anything that's going on, my first thought would be, oh, let me go back to my job now. You know,
She
like,
needs to be in a hospital for
yeah,
sure.
or at least
They,
like go
they
to a
need to be,
therapist.
yeah, there needs to be like, what happened to you? Something extremely traumatic happened to you, and then you went missing, and now you're back and you seemingly have amnesia.
And also, what casting director is like, oh, it's perfect timing. I was waiting for her to come back from the other dimension so I could finish this movie.
Yeah,
That doesn't make any sense to me thinking of it.
that's pretty good press, though. Like, missing girl is now lead of this movie that was shut down because of a accident that then created a supervillain. I'd see that movie.
You see that movie, but like, I don't know. If let's say like, let's take for example like Heath Ledger, like, and now he didn't actually die at all. He just showed up one day in Australia, and our first thought was like, why doesn't we put him in this movie? Why don't we put him into the next like fucking SpongeBob movie or something like that? Like,
No. For real though, they would, if that happened, the top voted comment would be like, "Oh, so Joker's gonna be in The Dark Knight Rises?"
yeah,
You know, like that would be the first thing, and then people would start having those conversations. You know,
yeah. Like, I think like Chadwick Boseman's body wasn't even cold when they're talking about recasting him and shit like that and replacing him as Black Panther. The most like we've lost the ability to like empathize with these actors because they do our comic book movies, and it's kind of gross. But anyway, yeah, they kind of like it's very prescient given that this was 1996 or whatever. That Mary Jane is just straight back into this movie. They're like, yeah, sure, like where have you been? Doesn't matter where you've been. Come and like finish this movie that we're doing now. Put on this purple jumpsuit, and
yeah, she looks a lot like a Shield agent or something.
she looks a bit like Black Widow, but like kind of like a color
Hmm.
like faded Black Widow.
It's a pretty good design, and like the funny thing is, I'd seen clips and pictures of her in this outfit randomly on the internet at various points the last couple of years, and I am not trying to spoil these episodes that I can't remember, so I was kind of ignoring them. But I did have this idea of like maybe there's some weird episode where Mary Jane becomes a secret agent, and it's like, oh no, she was just playing one. Makes a lot more sense.
I wouldn't rule it out, honestly. Like, as what I'm Mandela affected about this show, like, I'm not ruling it out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, there's no, I'm just really mystified there's no further questions about, like, where were you, Mary Jane? What happened? It's just like, I'm going to go back to work. And therefore, we go to work. We go straight to the set of the movie. MJ, as is expected and becomes abundantly clear, has lost her mind. She's like walking around being like, I'm about to go crazy. I'm kind of losing my mind here. And Peter's like, oh, isn't that funny, honey? Now go and like film this movie.
I see this as my big break. I need it for my career and for my sanity. Oh, Spider-Man, am I going mad?
I hope not, Miss Watson. Maybe you're just tired.
You know what? Maybe I am on Anna's side because he is not being
He doesn't give
protective
a
at
shit.
all over her mental well-being.
Considering this was his fault and he knows what happened.
Yeah, not only is she like, the previous thing that happened to her was being kidnapped by a flying goblin with portals, and then like had an explosive battle on a bridge and falling off it into a portal, and then it's like, okay, you should fill in to replace an actress who went missing during an explosion going wrong on a bridge, and you're replacing this actress, and then we're going to put you in all these like, you know, big set pieces where there's like water and things exploding and falling apart, like you're in an action movie. That sounds very much like it would be re-traumatizing.
Yeah, it was the 90s, but I'm pretty sure PTSD existed back then. It doesn't even cross his mind. He's like, yeah, go back into that exploding building.
Okay, doll. The ship is sinking and it's on fire. Anyone else would be panic-stricken, but not you. You're Super Agent Tiffany West. You got it, honey?
Whatever you say, JS.
Yeah, I know the other actress disappeared after going here.
And then also, like, when things do go wrong on this set, like, Peter goes, not again.
Not again.
It became funny because it's like her life has become so chaotic. And then I did really start empathizing with Aunt Anna because I was like, well, yeah, I mean, you would be worried about Mary Jane, wouldn't you? And Peter doesn't seem to be doing the best job of safeguarding her.
No, he seems like the opposite.
But then, yeah, where's Aunt Anna in this episode? Like, she should have, like, boarded up the door to Mary Jane's room. She's not allowed outside. She should have gone, like, full crazy with it.
She's probably in jail for, like, attempted murder. Or, like,
yeah, maybe that's it.
Murder.
Mm-hmm.
She's where Joe Exotic is right now. It's amazing how, not only is he, like, really neglectful, he's also kind of glib about it. Like, when she disappears, it's almost like he's saying, like, I put my girlfriend in mortal danger again. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
She's disappeared. Not again.
Mary Jane disappeared from the dressing room, and the only thing we have to go on is a set of muddy footprints. Because what happens while she's in the dressing room is that the apparition of her father comes back while she's in, like, the dressing room. And, I don't know, like, again, like, Mary Jane's been through a lot, but, like, this has happened to her before. And you know your father's not coming back. You know this is a ruse. You've had this whole arc before. And it kind of feels like, I don't know, if you wanted to do anything, you can just get, like, an apparition of her father and she'll just go off and do it, you know?
Yeah, it does feel kind of dumb that she immediately fell for it. But then also, like,
It's also been through severe trauma, so I'm not blaming her. Like, she probably has, like, brain damage.
Yeah, that is also true. Yeah, fair enough.
Mary Jane. Mary Jane.
Who's there?
Mary Jane.
No! What's wrong with me? Is this another dream? Am I going crazy?
Please, stay where you are.
When he appeared was when I was like, oh, it's not a Hydra Man episode. But then I thought, is it a Dormammu episode?
I had the same thought. I was like, is Dormammu back in this bullshit?
Which is insane that you see Mary Jane's dad and your first thought is Dormammu.
Yeah.
The dread Dormammu.
Like, he has, like, this one trick that he's, like, really working at the moment. He's, like, really into this redhead. He's, like, working on his daddy issues.
Well, he's after those darn Dormammos.
Yeah, he's getting that cereal.
That crispy crunch cereal.
Crispy crunch cereal that will, like, destroy several dimensions with every bite, you know?
Yeah, so she's led away, and then Peter realizes she's gone and chases after her, right? That he's like taking her around these like random
big complex
caverns
cave systems that lives under New York, for example. I don't know why or how this is happening. It doesn't seem like geographically like possible because New York has a very complex rail system and like subway system. I'm assuming this is beneath that. We're like below the chuds.
Well, yeah, and I think it's meant to be below the bridge too.
Yeah,
because they're shooting everything in this area. Even this big boat scene is happening within the city limits. Yeah, I mean it's fitted in there somewhere between one of Wilson Fisk's secret coffin funeral home labs and vast caverns of the sewer system as well.
Like Spencer Smythe is like fucking melting somewhere in between.
Yeah, Mole Man is around somewhere.
He's just doing his thing. So yeah, Spider-Man is like, hey, come back with my girlfriend, apparition of her dad, again. And he's immediately like, this is definitely Mysterio's bullshit. Why else would a delusion happen at this point in time? So he goes and finds like Mysterio's cell. And this must have taken him forever because it's not like he can like go to like a ledger and be like, okay, he's in this cell. and he's kind of lucky that like, I don't know, Mysterio has a window seat. Because he could be like, you could not have windows in his cell for sure, for easy.
Mm. And
I'm just like, how long did it take you to find this? How long were you going like, I've got you now, Mysterio? Oh, sorry, sir. I'll try next time. And it's like,
and also he ends up like grabbing and rubbing his face and and stuff through the bars. Maybe he was doing that to a bunch of different criminals.
Oh shit! Sorry. Yeah.
It is one of my favorite things is the idea of like grabbing someone thinking they're faking it.
Yeah.
In this case, thinking it's a fake Quentin Beck in jail and being wrong. There's a Chameleon comic where Spider-Man bursts in a room thinking that the Chameleon is this one guy and then like tries to take off his mask and it's just a guy. Oh no, and then like everyone hates him and thinks he's just attacking this like senator or something. And then another in a separate thing, like I think Chameleon impersonates Peter Parker, and he stops impersonating him, and Peter turns up, and then JJ starts like grabbing his face and start trying to take his mask off. And he says, it's just really funny to me.
It's very
But,
Scooby-Doo, isn't it?
Yeah. And I mean, what does that happen in? I'm just sort of vaguely recalling some like animation where someone's like pulling on an old person's face. Simpsons? When's that happen in
You shot
Simpsons?
Mr. Burns. Like,
oh.
Yeah, like, this isn't a real Mr. Burns, this is a mask. And he's like, no, that's just Mr. Burns.
Yeah, I can still hear the squelching of him pulling his skin.
I saw some pretty bizarre things today, so I came to check and see if the man I put behind bars was real. Or just another robot.
Ow! It's me, all right, in the flesh.
It is you.
Well, duh.
This isn't Mr. Burns at all. It's a mask. Wait, it is Burns. His wrinkly skin looks like a mask.
Funnily enough, Greg Berger has a crazy IMDb. He's in like a million things, and he's in an episode of The Simpsons.
Oh yeah, who's he playing in The Simpsons?
I don't know. He's in the season 22 episode, the one where what was it? It was Santa's little helper. Yeah, Bart has a carrier pigeon, and then Santa's little helper eats it.
Oh, I've seen that episode. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but then the on the IMDb, he's the only voice that hasn't got a name attached. So I'm assuming he's like a background guy, but
maybe he was the pigeon.
Anyway. Yeah, maybe.
Like Frank Welker was sick that day, so I had to go somewhere else.
I mean, I'll get into it later, but like I had a lot of fun looking at his IMDb.
Oh man. That's one episode of First and Last that Sean Fallon's never gonna do. Okay, anyway, so yeah, Spider-Man paused at Quentin Beck's face and he's like, I just stuck a tracker in there while he wasn't checking. And Quentin Beck is immediately like, that dumb bitch. Now I have his tracker. That's all I needed to get out of this fucking prison.
Well, I did slip a spider tracer on you, Beck, just in case. And you thought I was just trying to pull your face off.
Nice try, Wall Weasel. But you can't trick a trickster.
I do love this, by the way. This whole sequence I actually think was... So this episode goes a lot of different directions. This part is the part that I think is great. The whole thing of like him coming in, leaving the tracker on him just in case, but like pretending to just manhandle him, and then Mysterio being like, I knew you were going to do that because you did that to me earlier, and then using the tech from it for something else he'd put together so that he can escape. I thought all of that was... and the way he escapes too, where he like makes a an illusion of a flood so that they open the doors and then it's all fake and he can get out. Great stuff. I think this was really fun. And also, like, I do think that in this show, sometimes they can kind of set up people with power sets and then they just kind of get kicked. You know, like there's not much use of the power in a creative way. Especially when I'm like, at the same time, I'm like watching My Hero Academia and it's like the whole show is them finding creative uses of like niche powers.
Yeah.
So it's really fun for them to like find a way to be like, this is how Mysterio could be useful.
Be that as it may, this should not be happening because I feel like if you have Mysterio in prison, the first thing you're doing to your guards is like, his whole thing is illusions, okay? So if you see something weird happening, assume it's Mysterio. Don't be like, I guess I'll open this prison door.
There were the guards who were like being like, here's the Mysterio origin story, right? And it's like, I imagine those guys are talking about Mysterio and then they're like, anyway, I got to clock off, and then the new guy comes in and he doesn't know anything.
He's like, oh, I got in late, I didn't hear the exposition. This should be a mandatory training in this prison, surely, because like, you have Mysterio, you have the Chameleon, those are guys who have powers which are good for breaking out of jail. You should be briefed on what happens, or what should happen when this happens.
Oh, he's a tricky one. He calls himself Mysterio.
We cut back to Mary Jane. So we're back at the studio this time. They're filming action scene of like, there's a building on fire, and this character is trying to like do shit. And then all of a sudden, and this is where I thought Hydro Man was coming in, they're like, what's this water doing on the set? There's too much water on the set. She gets washed away. Peter's like, oh no, Mary Jane. And he just dives in after her. It's just the funny thing about being Spider-Man is that you do things like this, And like, everyone just assumes you died doing it because I guess like from the other side of it, they're like, oh yeah, that guy died into his girlfriend. It just never came out.
Yeah.
I guess he drowned.
And then hours later, you must assume they're dead if they don't come up.
Yeah. You assume they died.
His clothes just washed to the surface.
Yeah. For some reason, he got naked.
Yeah, he got naked and sank like a stone.
The guy's just made of granite. He has like no air inside of him. He's not buoyant at all. Basically, Spider-Man comes out of this big, again, at the bottom of this cavern with all this water in it, and he sees Mary Jane being led away again by her father.
Daddy?
Yes, my dear. Come with me. Don't be afraid.
That's when Mysterio comes along. And then there's a second Mysterio that comes along. And you're like, oh shit, what the fuck is happening now?
And the two Mysterios started fighting.
Yeah.
Which I
like,
love.
okay, what the fuck? Like, and Spider-Man's like comment of like, oh great, well, guess what I need? I was just thinking actually, I didn't have enough Mysterio in my life. I need another Mysterio.
Yeah, and also at this point it's kind of like they're playing this whole thing like it's a haunted. It's kind of like that, you know, with the title of the episode is kind of like it's a haunted set. You know, it's kind of like is in fiction. You know, of like the. I couldn't think of an example, but I feel like there's plenty of like ones of like you know, this
film production.
Yeah, cursed film production where everyone dies, or like this one role is really bad for whatever reason.
Like I want to say Poltergeist or like The Exorcist or something like that is one of them. Pretty sure Superman is another one.
Oh, you mean the actual? Sorry, I thought you meant the plots of those movies, and I was like, yeah,
No.
that doesn't happen.
The actual production.
Yeah, the actual production. Yeah, Superman was one. Yeah, is there something like that?
One. Yeah.
But then when it's like Mysterio's actually turning up for the other Mysterio, it's like, oh, Mysterio fucking haunted himself.
Mysterio is like catching L's throughout this episode, man. God damn.
I mean, well, actually, funnily enough, if I'm to think of one movie where the plot actually kind of aligns with this a little bit, weirdly enough, it's Inland Empire, the final David Lynch film. The 3-hour surreal masterpiece with Laura Dern and Jeremy Irons.
Was it Bill Pullman as well? Or was that something else I'm thinking
No,
of?
he was in Lost Highway.
That's what I'm thinking of.
But yeah, no, I mean, for anyone who's seen Inland Empire, there are some weird connections because there is a cursed kind of role in that Laura Dern takes. That is that's how she enters into the movie, and then things get kind of trippy with what her identity is and what's actually real. This episode is kind of like if a David Lynch movie was written by AI. Like they got the prompts in there, and then it just started hallucinating hard and going nuts.
David Lynch must be impossible to make through AI because he's just so like unreproducible.
Yeah, that's what happens. You get a Mysterio episode.
Yeah, but also this episode came out before Inland Empire, right?
Oh, so yeah, you're right. He was inspired.
He was inspired by this episode.
We can never ask him.
No, we can't ask Kurt Cobain about like Craven's Last Hunt.
Well, I tell you what, I'll work behind the scenes and see if we can get like the ghost of David Lynch to visit our podcast to ask him some questions about it.
We just host a seance on the podcast.
Yeah, maybe.
We have all kinds of guests, and I mean, like it's probably more likely than John Zipper Jr. So we'll see how we go.
No! Stay out of this!
Oh, good. I was just beginning to think one Mysterio wasn't enough.
Anyway, yeah, there's two Mysterio robots, and Spider-Man's like, oh, for fuck's sake. And he defeats one of them and realizes, oh shit, it's a robot. And Mysterio's like, oh yeah, I programmed him to kill you. And he goes on this whole thing about how, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like Kingpin is like making him make robots to kill Spider-Man.
So I think
and he's like,
he was like filling the void of Smythe leaving.
Yeah.
Smythe leaving, and then I don't remember. Is Langdon still around?
I'm pretty sure he's in The Hague.
Well, he should be.
He's being tried for like crimes against humanity.
Yeah, it was like an idea of like Smythe. I guess he still has a bunch of Smythe's tech and all the money for it, and he's like, Mysterio, here's some shit. And then Mysterio immediately gets over his head. You give some funds to Mysterio and like let him like build whatever he wants, and he immediately starts getting attacked by his own creations.
It's the most Mysterio thing ever to be like create like a ton of robots that can beat up a Spider-Man, but like forget to program them to not beat you up.
Yeah. And also,
So this
it's
is
like
the last robot,
when
and
they talk
they're
in
just kicking his ass.
when they talk in the cell, he's like, you don't want to go in those caverns. It's like hell and and it's like he's like actually created this like fucking haunted house that haunts him.
Yeah,
It's quite the cell phone.
he's just like neglected this room of like superpowered robots underground, and it's the most Mysterio thing ever to be like, I'm this evil genius, but my own creations are beating me up now. Please help me, please.
I made them too intelligent and strong.
Honestly, without watching this episode, if you were to be like, hey, Mysterio created this cavern and he did a bunch of shit in there, do you want to visit it? You'd be like, no, I think like there's gonna be some freaky shit in there. You probably need like a 200-foot tall Sydney Sweeney to step on him.
But unfortunately, it doesn't know when to stop. It keeps on like, trying to swallow him. That's like one thing that is like Brad Mysterio is that like he's this like genius who's used to control the project.
Yeah.
So yeah, if he's like planning a surprise party, like someone is going to die.
Yeah,
Like,
he always goes too far,
Yeah.
Are you ever for real?
You don't have time to find out.
Speaking of too far, like in this flashback to speaking to Kingpin, they got some of that beautiful, beautiful Spider-Man the Animated Series CGI.
Fucking PS1 cutscene.
Not even PS1, it looks so much worse.
It looks like fucking Lawnmower Man. It looks terrible.
Yeah, it's very Lawnmower Man. There's like an exploding Spider-Man where his limbs fly off, and it's so great, funny. But it's also like, I just want to say, right, especially younger people who watch this show now, this looked bad at the time.
Yeah.
We weren't thinking this looked sick. Even as kids, I remember being like, this looks like garbage.
There were lots of things that probably look quite hokey now that looked amazing when we were growing up.
Yeah.
But like this looks like shit 30 years ago.
I wouldn't want it any other way. I get excited when the CG comes up. I'm like, yes.
It is fucking excellent. Like, especially this exploding Spider-Man is like, Kingpin's like, I want you to do this to Spider-Man. Blow his limbs up in a comical way till they fly off in all directions.
Like, we already invented the rocket launcher, Mr. Fisk.
He invented 3D modeling as well, but clearly not. So yeah, like his whole thing is like he's recreated the Sinister Six with robots, and predictably this goes horribly wrong. So they're just like running amok in these catacombs. So like Dr. Octopus is there, like the robot Rhino is there. Robot Mysterio is dead now, but there's a robot Scorpion. The only way he gets through this is with a hose. There's a hose for some reason. Deep down in these catacombs, he sprays these fucking robots with it, and they go out of commission, or whatever.
There's obviously some animation reuse here. There's a bit where there's a lizard robot who jumps.
Yes.
And it's like the way he's jumping is, and then Spider-Man dodges. It's like, this is from episode 1. This is also in the opening credits, where they kind of like put that animation over a new background. There's a lot of like funny, like shitposty moments of this episode. But there's a bit where Mysterio runs down a tunnel, and then
quickly this way.
And then he goes quickly this way. He goes down the tunnel. There's like 5 seconds, and then
he just not even that. It's like maybe 2. He comes straight back out.
Straight back out, and his Dr. Octopus is wrapped in his tentacles. But the thing that makes it funny is that he doesn't go, he got me. He's just silent. He just silently comes back in.
He's like, I know I fucked up. I'm sorry. I wasted your time.
Yeah, it was very funny.
Yeah, my robots are fucking me up here.
Funnily enough, I'd recommend people like search for it, but a lot of this episode sparked these weird memories, not of the show, but of a YouTube poop that I watched a fucking age back. I think the YouTuber was called Ritspitz. They made YouTube poops out of like old cartoons and stuff, and they made a few Spider-Man ones, and one of them was called Tata Spider-Man. And Mysterio in his opening scene in this goes, "Ta-ta, Spider-Man." There's lots of small moments in this that I was like, oh, that's from that goofy video where they just like fucked around with these images. And a lot of it you don't even need to edit that much because it's just that weirdly paced and insane.
Yeah. I do think we're going to have a weird door at some point to explain what a YouTube poop is, because That makes me feel very old. I feel like YouTube people were like a thing more like teenagers, right? So it's like maybe
Well,
20
that's the
years.
weird thing is that I kind of felt like that. Like it was very early internet. Like there's a lot of those like
Yeah.
Sonic ones, like Dr. Eggman, like making him say penis and stuff like that. Like very basic humor, a lot of it. But people still do it now. And I recently actually rediscovered some great ones. There's a guy called Very Tall Bart on YouTube who does some really funny ones.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they are out there. They're still around, and they make jokes that are within like a community of people who make those edits. It's a very much a subculture thing that is still running. But I do think it was dormant for a while. But it's weird to think, that's still around.
It's still kicking, going strong. Lots of memes and like cultures have come and gone in that time, but the poop stays strong. There's going to be like an out of context cut in that. We cut to Mary Jane at this point, right? And Mary Jane's like, "What's going on? Where am I?" And she awakens basically in this giant like lab.
Mm.
And at this point, we realize that the actress who disappeared is actually alive, and she's like part robot now.
Yeah, I was so baffled at this point, but to the point that I was like, like I wrote down in my notes, Miranda Wilson as a robot, Miranda Wilson the actress, because I was like, as I was thinking of it, I was rediscovering, oh yeah, that's the actress that went missing, because I didn't think it was. In retrospect, it's very obvious that they set it up, but in the moment, my first thought was like, is that Vanessa Fisk? Did something happen to Vanessa Fisk? Because I just heard Wilson and my brain started thinking of Kingpin. And then when that set was in, you were like, oh, okay, well, it's the missing actress.
Yeah.
Wait, the missing actress became a robot? What the fuck is happening? And then the explanation is more insane.
It's very funny. And in my notes, I have here, she's going to steal her body. This is great. Because as soon as you see her, you're like, oh yeah, they're going to swap bodies.
Yep.
That's like such a Saturday morning cartoon plot. And I was like, okay, here we go. I'm fucking ready for this. We cut back to Mysterio and Spider-Man running through this big thing. And Mysterio's like, this is where I was going to like ritually sacrifice you, just FYI. He's got this big altar. And there's got like flames coming out of it. And like Robot Venom and Carnage come out to fight Spider-Man. And it's very funny to me that he like made a set of robots this powerful and didn't program them not to attack him.
Yeah.
It's like the first law of robotics. And he's like, yeah, no, I'll be fine.
You can't trick a trickster.
Spider-Man blows them all up. It's great.
This is where the symbiote ones are as well, right?
Yeah.
So the I do think there's some nice little details in this, like the Carnage when his tendrils come out, they're like robotic, like arms. Yeah. It's like things like that. I was like, they still retained the fact that they were robots in a way that was like fun.
Spider-Man kept saying, just so you know, they are robots. These aren't real. They are robots. And you're like, okay, we get it. And he
in the first scene, he was fighting those robot pirates for like way too long before he goes, wait, are these robots? It's like, come on, man.
They're covered in metal. Terminator 2 will come out at this point. You know what a robot looks like.
What are these things? Some kind of robots?
He's blown that Officer Kingdom Come. They run into the lab. And this is where we get the explanation of why Miranda Wilson is like this. And it's very funny. Because, first of all, she implies that after the crash, she just falls to the bridge and nobody noticed.
Yeah, she fell off the bridge and got to the shore. No one noticed. And then she, looked and she was like, oh, my face is fucked up. Better go to the sewers.
Yeah. And it's like a mild facial burn. You know, they have skin grafts, that kind of thing.
Well, either way, it's definitely going to be worse if you don't give it any medical treatment.
Yeah. Go to a hospital. What the fuck? What are you doing? Go to a hospital. She's like, no, I'm going to run to the sewers. This is my only course of action.
You can go to the sewers after you go to the hospital.
Yeah. After they figure out your face is unsavable. But, you've got an open wound, and she's like, oh yeah, I almost immediately succumbed to my medical condition. Because, because you got a gaping wound from your face.
Yeah, and then you went to an area swarming with bacteria.
Yeah, literally where we flush our feces down. You're like, yeah, I'm going to run there. What could go wrong? This facial burn. I'm going to lie in this river of shit. That should help.
I couldn't let anyone see me this way. I crawled through the sewers like the rats that lived there. Miraculously, they led me to some catacombs beneath the studio. Without medical treatment, my condition steadily worsened.
It's revealed that Quentin Beck basically is down there for other reasons, and he comes across Miranda face down in the sewage water, and his first thought is also not, I should take this person to the hospital. It's like, why don't I take you back to my lab and make you a robot and connect your brain to all of New York?
Yeah, and also, yeah, that's the thing. It's one thing to connect her to all the robots and stuff he made, but she does have access to the databases of the whole city pre-internet.
Like the ending of Lawnmower Man, literally.
Yeah, but then also, on top of that, Mysterio, right? Like, how long? She must have been down there a little while, right? Because this isn't. She said
It's
when
like,
he
it's
gets.
been like 2 years, right?
Yeah, I think so. Either way, I'm not sure if it happens if he does this before. It's definitely after he's gotten out of jail for what happened on set, and then he's become Mysterio. But I don't know if it's the earliest it could be. I guess would be before he tries to frame Spider-Man in season 1, but that's still a while.
I think it's after like the Sinister Six thing happens where everyone goes like, okay, see you later. And Mysterio's like, okay, bye guys. And just immediately climbs into a manhole and goes straight to the sewers.
Right, and then
It's
that is a long time.
That's what he's just been up to for the last like couple of years since that episode.
Yeah.
He went straight down and was like, oh shit, it's Miranda. Why not just like fix this thing that was like a simple skin graft and instead make her a robot person and connect her brain to all of New York? Yeah, that seems sound. What could go wrong here?
Miranda Wilson?
Very good. You've got brains as well as beauty.
No!
So it's revealed that like she has all these powers, and her plan is to swap her body with Mary Jane so she can look the same again, and all that stuff. And the machine has captured Mary Jane. It captures Spider-Man, whose spider sense doesn't work. So she presses the button to start the machine. Mary Jane goes, no! And the machine just explodes. Because obviously it was made by Quentin Beck, and therefore it's a piece of shit.
I can't fix it. There's nothing to fix. The machine was never designed to work, was it, Beck?
Miranda, what you wanted was a scientific impossibility.
Which is just so classic Mysterio, man. Like, this was all a big-ass scam he pulled on this woman. Instead of taking her to a hospital. I don't think I respect this, but I'm very much like, yeah, this is very you. And she's like, you knew this whole time this wasn't gonna work? And he's like, yeah, sorry, my bad, my B. Ain't I a stinker? You wanna go out, by the way? You wanna get drinks? Because it turns out, yeah, like he's like in love with her. And she's like, oh, you could have never loved me, I'm a hideous monster. Well, if you'd just gone to the hospital, this probably wouldn't have been a thing at all. And there's just so many bad decisions that have led to this point. And at least the worst decision of all. Because, like, Mysterio's basically like, yeah, I love you, let's all, like, be together. And she's basically is like, not for long. And she rigs this entire lab to explode.
Yeah. But she tells them, she says, like, quick, run away from this. It's like, you decided when to put this, like, you could have said, like, hey, guys, I'm going to blow this up. Get out of here. Give you 10-minute head start.
I can't go anywhere. I'm like locked into this big ass lab that apparently doesn't work at all. The only thing it does well is explode on command. From my fucking like special effects boyfriend. So fucking dumb.
And then so Mysterio says like, well, I'm not leaving either.
So the only answer to this entirely preventable like facial injury is a suicide pact. Because of course.
In a show where you're not allowed to say the word kill and people aren't allowed to be punched, 2 characters just commit suicide at the end of this episode.
You don't commit suicide. It's like, yeah, okay, that's me, I'm done. I can't come back from this. And it's not really explained really why. It seems like an extreme. Love, I guess.
Love.
All I wish is to be with you. Always.
And so you shall. Always.
What's that noise?
Get out of here! Both of you! I've just overloaded the energy source to this complex!
You've got to get out of here, too!
No! I'm staying.
So am I.
And speaking of love, MJ's like kind of comes out and is like, "This is my acting job," and it's like, "Bitch, two people just died." She's like, "Oh no, I guess I gotta go back to the drawing board. Guess I'm eating ramen for dinner this month."
Yeah, no, I have to go back to like dealing with all my horrifying trauma.
I can't process this anymore. I've lost the ability to process trauma. Yeah, death doesn't scare me. Explosions everywhere. I see explosions wherever I go. It's a really like funny like numb response from this person who's, again, she might have genuine brain damage. Like that part of her brain doesn't work anymore.
There goes my film debut. Up in smoke.
And Peter's like, as Spider-Man is like, "Oh my god, I thought I'd lost you," and is like really intense. And MJ is like, "Guy in leotard? I'm sorry, I've got a boyfriend."
Yeah, he's like touching her face and stuff. And at this point, I did have this thought for a split second where I was like, did he tell her that he was Peter Parker and I forgot? Because this is so inappropriate for like what she thinks is a stranger. And then
yeah, like this isn't the first face he's touched that night, but like, and obviously like he's gonna be all like wet and smelly because he's been in the sewer all day. Just not a great sensory experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, "Actually, I've got a boyfriend," and he's like, "About that." And then this is actually part I remember.
Yes, I know him. He's me.
And yeah, she's like gasps, and like her like damaged brain can take no more of this, and it's a cliffhanger.
A pretty good one at that. I wasn't expect. It was right at the moment where I thought to myself, you know what? If you're going all in, you should probably unmask right now. And then he unmasked.
Yeah. He saw Mysterio's like commitment. And he's like, "I've got to match that." You know, like Mysterio showed me the way.
Yeah.
I would have blown up my own lab.
Yeah, I better tell her because we could die at any moment. We live in the same world.
People are constantly trying to kill us.
Yeah.
She gasps, and that's the end of the episode. And I, for one, was very glad like Hydra Man wasn't in it because I was like worried, like, when the fuck is this asshole going to show up? I was just waiting.
Yeah.
And turns out not at all.
Yeah.
Mary Jane, there's something I've got to show you.
I kind of alluded to it a bit before, but I think there's been loads of like overarching stories, and I think almost they've been to the detriment of like what's been going on the screen. I feel like we've been going so long with like this whole Black Cat thing and the whole Morbius thing. I feel like half the show is about Morbius in some context, and that feels like a huge bummer. So it was nice for it just to be like Mysterio's doing some bullshit, Spider-Man's suspicious, there's a bit of mystery going on, and everyone commits suicide at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about this recently, and it's something which is very obvious, but I have only just considered it. Yeah, so there's like a thing where, I don't know if you ever had them, but they did like these VHS and DVD releases for the show.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of times that's what people came across more than watching it on TV. Like they had a Venom one, for instance, and it had the original Venom arc, and then I think maybe the Carnage one or something, and then it's like they have a Green Goblin one, which is just the season 3 Green Goblin stuff. And you can kind of see in these that sometimes it's like there's an ongoing arc, and then there's enough to fill up a VHS tape, and then what else can you do to fill this out to make it a full season? And that's maybe part of the contract of making the show, is that we can kind of sell this as a separate thing that people are going to watch basically as a movie. Whereas this season is a bit more scattershot. And this is another episode like the Craven one, where it's kind of a return of a villain. But they're kind of coming back, and then at the end of the episode, we're kind of like, and that's a season wrap on that character, you know? And
We'll never see that guy again.
yeah, and spoilers, but that's the last of Mysterio. We don't see him again in the show.
I'm not surprised. He fucking blew up.
Well, I mean,
he died.
You wouldn't also be surprised to know that there were plans to bring him back in season 6.
Oh. What?
I tell you how
him die.
I know how to do it, right? And it would save this episode, because for me, this episode is actually legit very good up until Miranda shows up.
I disagree with you. I think the Miranda thing was a perfect button. I was like, waiting for her ass to show up, and I was like, this is the kind of crazy shit that should be in this cartoon.
Okay, but I'm fine with it if this episode, preferably this episode, but you could also reveal it in the future. But if it turned out everything from Miranda to the end was bullshit that Mysterio made up. Because this very sci-fi B-movie bullshit doesn't quite make sense, but sort of makes sense, and is very rushed. And it's like, what if Mysterio just needed to turn all this tech off, blow it up, get rid of the evidence, escape?
Yeah.
That's all he needed to do.
Robots that are too strong and powerful and don't listen to him, and he needs to just like get rid of the evidence entirely.
Yeah, and it's like he gets to that, and he's like at the end, and he's like, okay, well, I'll just construct some bullshit story about how I'm in love with this robot lady. And then next time we see Spider-Man, he's like, oh yeah, that was a bunch of nonsense I made up. Yeah. I'm like, that's actually really, that would be really funny.
I just really didn't want to break up with her.
But yeah, no. Instead, it's like that stuff is it's a bit much. The way she survived and everything, and also the idea of Mysterio spending part of his career kind of like semi-heroically, like stealing money in order to keep her alive and having a kind of a redemption arc. And I think in general, like Mysterio for me is much more entertaining when he's in supervillain mode rather than when he's taking the fishbowl off and he's like, I'm Quentin Beck, I'm a real guy, and I have these issues, you know. It doesn't always work.
I would agree with you, not for the fact that Quentin Beck, the person, is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I love like the shitty robots. I love the fact that his grand plan is foiled by him being a shitty scientist and just like making the things that he pretends to make. You can't really come back from this. You should probably blow yourself up. Yeah, this is the fitting end for Mysterio. As a bit of a sidetrack, if like they do a Spider-Man 94 revival, I genuinely think it should be like season 8 of The Simpsons, where like every character comes on the screen that's not Spider-Man commits suicide at the end of the episode.
I mean, it kind of happens in the movies a little bit already.
Yeah, like
Doc Ock and Green Goblin did it. For sure.
Venom kind of does it.
Yeah, he does
like,
actually.
Basically, all the villains die.
All the Raimi villains killed themselves.
Yeah, it's kind of their thing. It's just like suicide.
I mean, Lizard didn't die, I think, and then
fucking Electro. It's not clear.
Yeah, none of those guys died because they wanted to do a Sinister Six movie.
Yeah,
and then the Vulture didn't die.
He did his best to fucking die. Mysterio fucking died. He mega dies.
Yeah, that was a weird one because it was like it's such an easy character to bring back, you know.
And he's like, no, just fucking dead. He just got shot to death at like point blank by his own machines. Much like, yeah, like it's very funny that like the one character you expect to have like a bit of mystery around whether or not they died or not, they'd be like, no, this guy's definitely dead.
Well, do you know what's really funny? Oh, you give me a very good segue for this. Especially in the comics, Mysterio is the absolute number one person to fake their death and to pretend that they're in hell or something, you know, and they're coming back from the dead, they're demonic or whatever. In fact, one time they actually tried to convince J. Jonah Jameson that Jonah had gone to hell by like recreating hell around him and everything.
That's great.
Mysterio does die in the comics.
Does he go to hell?
Well, here's the thing, right?
Oh, fuck.
He dies, and then you're like, well, he's going to come back. He's going to be like, oh, I never died. It was all bullshit. And then once it all settles and you actually get actually comprehensive, like, what happened to you, you know? He did die. He 100% really died, and he actually went to hell.
Yeah.
He just actually went to hell, and then he came back to life because of demon shit. But he did go to hell, and it's just like the funniest thing to me because he's like the one character that you could do a fake out about that, and he's like, no, he actually did go to hell.
No, he just full on.
And died. He was fucking around making fake hell, and it's like, no, you're gonna see real hell.
I imagine he initially went into heaven, but then he was doing an illusion in heaven, and like Jesus like lost a leg, and they had to sit him down to hell because they were like, yeah, I can't have you here. You're just injuring all the angels and shit.
Yeah, I mean, he's always over his head in some way.
Yeah. How did he die, by the way? Did he blow himself up? Was it suicide?
It was a suicide. Henry is laughing, and either it's not getting picked up by the mic or it's a silent laugh.
It was a bit of a silent laugh, but yeah, no. Please tell me how Mysterio killed himself.
You know what? I don't remember it very clearly, if I'm honest. But the weird thing was that it was in a Daredevil comic. He shoots himself in the head.
Oh, the old Kraven's Last Hunt.
Yeah, in a Daredevil comic, written by Kevin Smith.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So
was there a situation where he was like, "Oh shit, I'm in the wrong comic. Is there any one way to fix this?"
I mean, it's just weird because I just remember being like, because I'm reading Spider-Man comics, right? I mean, Mysterio just isn't in them for a short while, and then he is, and then there's a great panel where someone says like, "Mysterio, aren't you supposed to be dead?" And then he says something like, "Oh, I prefer to keep some things a mystery," or something like that. Like he's just like, I'm weird that way, you know?
I got better.
But then it turns out that Mysterio is actually a different guy who'd like taken over the mantle. And then it's actually like
he donned the fishbowl.
Yeah, it's like it's then like 7 years later or something that the original Mysterio comes back and it's like, no, I was actually in hell because I killed myself and it's a sin.
Hell is real. And I went there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens to him. You know, he did, and it definitely was a thing. I think the attempt is like that kind of. Here's a character who is kind of a joke. We're in the 90s, and it's not cool to be corny anymore. You know, we want to be serious and gritty and be taken seriously. So you take this character and you give them a dark story that ends with them killing themselves. You know, it's definitely trying to recreate that.
Serious as suicide.
Yeah, and obviously, like,
what in the butterfly effect is that, man? Like,
it clearly doesn't have the same impact as Kraven's Last Hunt because, like, no one knows about this story really.
So what's the rationale for Mysterio killing himself? Was he like? Do you get like a parking ticket?
I honestly can't remember. He had some kind of thing where he was like, I think he was like terminally ill.
Oh.
And then I think there was something about like a baby that he was tricking Daredevil into thinking this baby was like the Antichrist or something. And I also think he fakes Karen getting like an AIDS diagnosis. It's really fucking weird.
The more detail you add to this, the funnier it is that he ends us all with like, "I'm gonna put a gun on my mouth now,"
or to the side of his fishbowl.
Yeah,
but then, yeah, no, it's very strange. It's a thing that they just kind of move past eventually.
Yeah, with good reason. Yeah, don't worry about like why he killed himself. It's not important anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
and since then, like, has he tried to like, I don't know, eat a bullet since?
I think they've managed Mysterio. He's actually one of the characters who's been done pretty well in recent years because they kind of got what's good about him. The only thing I don't like about it is that he's kind of he kind of greases the wheels of Spider-Man lore a little bit. I don't know if that makes sense.
Wherever you need him to be, he's like, "Oh, this thing in the plot isn't quite moving around." He's like, "Well, Mysterio's got it."
Yeah, exactly. It's like this whole thing. There's this whole arc with Kindred, this enemy called Kindred, that is so insane. I want to do a weird lore on it, but like I'm also intimidated by having to explain it because it's very complicated. But there's certain parts in that where it's like there's a detail that doesn't make sense, and it's like, oh yeah, you know that thing that happens like 20 years ago in the comics? Mysterio was there. And he did some Mysterio stuff so that character thought that this happened, you know, and it's like, oh, okay, what? I think at one point, like, technically speaking, Mysterio tricks Norman Osborn into fucking one of his illusions.
Why?
Because that's the only way the plot would have worked. We had to.
So if there's a plot hole in the Spider-Man comic, Mysterio did it, basically.
Yeah, basically, there's a point where like Norman was. And then we banged. And then later on, they're like, actually, no, that was Mysterio.
That was Mysterio. You had sex with Mysterio.
I wrote down a couple of random Mysterio facts, actually, that I didn't have like a comic origin, because all this stuff in this episode is just random bullshit that, you know, was in
that
stuff.
I believe.
That Miranda Wilson is not in the comics. But yeah, no, he once faked Aunt May's death.
Again, why?
He once starred as the villain in an anti-cannabis promotional comic.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty good advert against cannabis, to be fair.
Yeah,
This guy's
yeah.
high all the time. He's high right now. Look how much of a piece of shit he is.
He's kind of, you can get away with a lot with him just because he's so strange as a character that he can kind of go nuts. But I think he's given a lot of life in the show by the voice actor.
Mm-hmm.
And Greg Berger, he's done some insane stuff. Like, I look at his IMDb, he was in Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
that feels right.
He voices Odie,
Garfield's
Odie. He voiced Mole Man in the 94 Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
He's small voices in a lot of stuff, in a lot of video games. He's in the first Baldur's Gate.
Oh.
He apparently voices a character called Baby the Cockatoo in Frasier. In the Phantom Menace video game, he voices various roles, including Darth Maul, Matt Rags, and Race Fan.
Race Fan?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're all a fan of Race.
Yeah, it doesn't say which race.
Yeah. Just to get an idea of race.
He voices Agent K in the Men in Black cartoon.
Oh, that is a throwback, actually.
And this was a huge one for me. He voices Q in 007 Nightfire.
Oh, shit.
Which is like, for our specific age, is like a huge deal. That game fucking ruled.
Yeah. You were slightly young for GoldenEye, so this is what we had instead. And I remember, this is the first time I ever used a multi-tap, was for that game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so cool. He's also a character called The Pain in Metal Gear Solid 3, one of the bosses there.
Yeah.
He's Captain Blue in Beautiful Joe, which is a pretty crazy character. He's Atuma, Galactus, and The Thing in Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
He's a tumor.
Atuma.
Like a talking tumor.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor. It's a tumor.
Sure. Okay.
Attuma. He's a fish guy. Namor, bad guy.
Yeah. But doesn't have, like, cancer.
No. But yeah, no, he's done a bunch of crazy stuff like that I thought was kind of fun. Yeah, I think he does a really good job in this show. Like, I think it's always fun when he turns up. He plays it. He understands the assignment, to play it like super dramatic.
Yeah. It kind of has the tragicness of Mysterio as a person.
And also, Miranda is played by a woman called Beverly Garland, who has fucking 199 credits on IMDb, including a bunch of like Roger Corman movies.
Oh, okay. That feels like an
She's in like Swamp Women and It Conquered the World.
Oh, Jesus.
There's a movie she's in called The Alligator People.
Yeah,
like
that tracks.
She's in a bunch of B movies,
mm-hmm.
which I think is kind of fitting because I feel like,
she's a B movie villain.
Yeah, she's a B movie villain. And also, there's a line early in the episode where Spider-Man makes some crack at Mysterio about some knockoff B movie effects, so it's kind of wrapped up in what Mysterio is too.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like a fun connection.
That is super cool, actually, yeah. In real life, Quentin Beck would be working with Roger Corman all the time.
Yeah, that's where he would get work, because Roger Corman will be like totally fine with him going way too far.
Yeah, like, yeah, you lost my lead actress, but I got 100 like skimpy women. I don't need busted women. The diamond doesn't.
Yeah, we'll just use this mind swap machine.
Yeah.
Mysterio! I should have guessed. After all, this robbery does play like a grade B horror movie.
I got two questions for you here. One, does this plot make sense? Also, it's a wrap on Mysterio. Was this a good send-off? How do you feel that Mysterio is gone now?
Okay, to answer your first question, I have two more questions for you. First question is define plot, and the second question is define well.
Things happening in a coherent, logical way.
Follow-up question, define coherent. No, I think like...
We're talking to fucking Jordan Peterson.
I haven't started crying yet, so like... But yeah, I think, like, I talk about, like, delicious cheese nightmares. This is almost like a meal.
Mm.
I think of all, like, these kind of chaotic episodes, I think this is the most, here is a thing that is happening, here is a mystery we're going to solve. I wouldn't go as far as saying, like, this is, like, the best plotted episode, but I think it's, as, like, a standalone, this is what I would define as, like, a quintessential episode of Spider-Man the Animated Series. This has everything that like a good episode of the show has. But it has Mysterio in it. It has like plots. It has a mystery. It has some weird sci-fi bullshit. It has robots. It has J. Jonah Jameson talking shit. And I'm like, yeah, like if you wanted to start on a random episode,
it has a table, a rocket-powered table that flies off carrying the treasure that Mysterio presumably built.
Yeah, he built this for some reason, and he never found that shit.
It has the phrase "snow job." Do you remember that bit?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I have my note snow job, and I'm like snow job, eh? And I forgot what the context was for it at all.
It was just it's like he. There's a few little bits I can't remember if we mentioned, but like that were kind of cool where he's like looking for Mysterio in the streets and chasing him down. And one bit is like he knows where his base is because he's like, hey, this deli is out of place in this area of New York. This wouldn't be next to these shops, which I thought was a neat way of using like his understanding of the city.
Yeah.
But then before that, it's like in an alley. And it's like becomes like a snowstorm or whatever, and then he like disrupts it with the fire hydrant, and then he says like something like, "That's the last time you're gonna get me with a snow job, Mysterio," or something like that.
This snow job won't stop me, Mysterio.
Yeah, it's just a very funny phrase.
Yeah, it's like,
and it turned out it was it was Mysterio's last snow job.
Yeah, no more snow jobs for him after that. To answer your second question, this is the perfect sign for Mysterio. If he didn't die in that explosion, I would struggle to get up for that. What else could he do with Mysterio other than this? He's created robots of all Spider-Man's enemies. He's got a weird love plot, and now he's blown himself up.
Like, I know what you do. I know 100% what you do.
What would you do?
You do the hell stuff. You have, but not like in the comic. You would have him come back and trick Spider-Man into thinking that he is a zombie or he's emerging from hell or he's haunting him, like that kind of thing. And then it turns out he just faked the death.
Yeah. He's getting haunted by Mysterio. He's like, I swear Mysterio's dead. And he's like, nope, been alive the whole time. But
yeah.
And then I think you've had a great set, and you like go off to like your favorite, like your best song, and everyone's cheering. And then you come back on for the encore and you're like, well, here's something from my new experimental album. And it's all like fucking fucking experimental rock and everyone's booing you. And it's like, just go out on a high, Like, this Toy Story 3 moment. Just
But I guess the only thing I'd say is I'm not sure if falling in love with a robot woman is, the hit of this metaphorical band.
She wasn't a robot when he first met her, to be fair. She was a regular woman with a facial burn. that was all his.
That's what it just I really think this episode is really great. I just think it's that ending. It's just all that stuff with the actually I made a mind swap machine, but then I lied to you about it working because I love you, but also you have to stay underground and turn into a robot. Also, that's suicide pact here. It's all very out of nowhere, and I don't know. It didn't work for me.
It felt very on brand for Mysterio. The idea that he'd like find like his crush in the sewers with a horrible burn after being feared dead, and be like, "I'm going to take you with me to my underground lab and make you into a robot woman, and I'm going to tell you that I can make a body swap machine, and when it fails, I'm going to blow us both up," is extremely Mysterio to me. He's clearly just like making it up as it goes along, and he doesn't have an end game. And when you don't have an end game like that, the only answer is suicide.
Right. Wow, you've heard it here first, folks.
Suicide is the answer.
Ta-ta, Spider-Man!
So how does it fit in for the rest of the season for you?
What, this episode and like the ranking?
Yeah, does it fit in at all, like as part of this like larger arc? This is the first Mary Jane episode back, so it's still kind of part of that story.
It's kind of funny, actually. In a way, this almost picks up from like the end of season 3. I think you probably could box off this whole thing with like Black Cat and Felicia Hardy into its own little like mini arc.
Yeah.
And then she goes off to like have her own pilot with Morbius, whatever, and the show just picks up again.
Yeah.
Like it's got the whole like Harry Osborn thing, it's got like the Mary Jane thing. And yeah, like season 4's been kind of weird in that aspect where I feel like half of this season should be like completely removed from the other half. And I feel a little bit like, okay, like we've hit our peak with like the end of season 3, and it's not even been that bad, but I'm just a bit like the whole like Felicia Hardy's storyline. I'm a bit, this has run out of steam like a few episodes ago, and I feel like we're just treading water.
Yeah.
Take off the mask, do whatever, like have the big climax, because now it's gonna be a thing where like he has all this unresolved shit with Felicia, and they had to resolve that storyline. But now Mary Jane knows that he's Spider-Man. That's gonna go a certain way. So what are we doing over here?
Yeah, there's a sense of like half the episodes in this season are standalone whatevers, and half of them are like monumentally important.
Yeah.
Unmasking, Mary Jane coming back, Felicia Hardy becoming a superhero.
Was that this season or was that last season? The Felicia Hardy season. Black Cat.
No, that was this season.
It was before this.
That was this. It was this season. It's just that it was a long time ago because this season has been very long for our recording.
Oh yeah,
because they do an episode with the cat, her dad.
We recorded that in your
next
London
episode.
Shit.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, that must be another season.
we-
We recorded it in like a whole different place. You were in a different country, and I was like, assuming.
Oh, yeah.
That was a different season. But you're right. That is the same season.
Our pacing for season 4 has been very strange.
The world's been very strange.
So that happened, like Harry Osborn found out that Peter was Spider-Man and then became the Green Goblin. Like some big things that happened, but also it's like Craven is back, and now Calypso is like a cat lady, and then that's kind of, and then he leaves.
They gotta go straight.
They're fine,
Yeah, that's gonna happen. Mysterio's back, and then he's very much not back.
Yeah, so I'm kind of wondering what if the rest of the season, if we're gonna get a few more like, hey, remember that guy? He's back.
There's gonna be one episode I remember from this season that I can't wait to get to, because if I remember this show correctly, like there's a sequence of events that's about to be put into motion, and it's gonna come back. We're gonna bring somebody back we thought was like out of the show, and that's gonna be fun. But yeah, I feel like a little bit like there's a detour from like the main plot of like the show with the Mary Jane stuff, and now we're back here. I'm like, okay, like the show can begin again. It felt like we're just kind of treading water.
Yeah.
As much as I enjoyed all the Black Cat stuff, I was like, this is the first episode in a while of like real consequence.
Yeah. And then a question of that we usually ask of who are the partners and are they in dangers is kind of obvious, right?
Yeah.
There's 2 partners here and everyone is in danger.
Yeah. Some of them don't get out of that danger. Some of them create more danger for themselves that they cannot escape. And there's definitely fewer partners in danger once this is done. Let's say that much.
Yeah.
They don't have to worry about anything ever again. There's been lots of times when the partner in danger subplot has been kind of stretched to like its logical limit. And this was very much like, no, these are partners and they're in fucking danger. You better fucking believe how much they're in fucking danger. And I was like, I'm here for it,
Yeah. I mean, I'm sad to see Mysterio go.
I think he went out with a bang, literally.
Yeah, very much so. I will always love you, Mysterio, and I hope to see you again one day in some form.
So that's been that 90s Spider-Man show. And remember, whenever you make a mild mistake, the answer is always suicide. Good night.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Through early morning fog I see visions of the things to be, the pains that are withheld for me. I realize and I can see that suicide is painless. It brings on many changes, and I can take or leave it if I please.
The poop stays strong.